Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Thursday Thoughts. It's Des here. Of course, for this week's live episode, 8 o'clock on a Thursday is your chance to get in questions for me to answer, anything you want me to explain, talk about, give my opinion on. Feel free to post your questions. It's just an opportunity for you to get involved, to converse. Of course, if you've got any comments to add, please drop them in. On any of the subjects we talk about, it's like I say, it's just a chance to sort of reverse the conversation from the rest of the week. Earlier in the week, I tend to speak about the way I'm feeling, how things are going, trying to motivate us to get geared up. Yesterday, of course, I've got that part 1 PB vlog. I'm really pleased to get one of those out. It's been a while, so looking to get back into the regular episodes of DOdaily. It was great to get one of those on again. Do check that out. They're always good fun. Even if you're not of a running persuasion, it just shows what myself and the guys get up to on a Saturday morning. I always try and use it as a bit of midweek motivation. And then, of course, we've got this on a Thursday before, on a Friday morning, I look to wind down, we wake up to walk. As always, it's the same format, the throwback, some questions provided by you guys, and then a chance to get involved even further with another throwback this week. It's loosely based around one of the questions, and of course, there's no wrong answer to that. So like I say, if you've got any comments, please add them in. If you want to get in touch, just pop up the links to all the social media. Search for me as well on social media, on my own personal accounts. Always willing to communicate, answer any questions privately if people want to talk to me. Part of all of this is to encourage people to be positive and forward thinking, I guess, around mental health, and try and be proactive. That was the word I was looking for, with their own mental health. That's what I'm trying to be here. So it's just a case of keeping the conversation going wherever possible. So you can find me on any of those links scrolling across. Like I say, search Des Oldham. I'm sure you'll find me before too long. And if you've got any questions to add for next week, you can always email in as well. If you want to keep it anonymous, that's absolutely fine. Please drop a like straight away. Do it right now, just down there somewhere. It takes literally a split second. If you've already done it, I really, really appreciate it. And of course, I really appreciate people checking in, people viewing, those comments, like I say, those thumbs up. Mr. Dawes in, he's watching. I'm actually on his channel later this evening, so cracking on tonight with plenty of jobs to do, but really looking forward to talking about football. And it's one of the reasons I'm feeling really positive. Of course, Forest won last night, and that's one of the things I love. So really enjoying that. But another reason is my activity. Of course, a lot of DOdaily is centered around encouragement. Even if you're not particularly active, to just get in some activity, use it for the benefits, use it to get outside, to clear your mind, for the mental health benefits. I say it almost every day. I believe there's a direct link. So for me personally, the last couple of weeks, I've really got back into it. Whilst I'm not quite hitting the results I want to. Again, I'll plug that part 1 PB vlog from yesterday. Do check that out. Whilst I'm not quite hitting the results I want to, the routine's coming back. The feeling of getting out there, making it happen. I was literally having a conversation within the last half an hour about really searching for that real love for it. Whilst I love running and I know the benefits and I know how much it helps me, I always say it's my drug when things aren't fantastic. It's something that helps me sort of process things initially, but then the endorphin rush, and that makes me feel good. So whilst I'm not quite there, I'm getting those routines back, and it's making me feel good. Just done a tough session. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Talking to someone in the last half an hour, saying when I find that love, that's when I can feel I can really sort of go at it and give it a good real good effort and start really getting the results I want to. But for now, it's just about routine and habit. Been out this evening, done a really tough hill run. So that, on top of the football last night, just made me feel pretty decent today. And if I'm totally honest, whilst I've been really positive this week, and whilst I've found these lots of reasons to be positive through doing the things I do, just felt a little bit tired. Took a bit of a day off today, spent a lot of time with the puppy. Stan, just walking in. Spent some time on the sofa this afternoon, catching up on one or two things that I wanted to watch on TV. It's not something I'd normally do, but just felt I needed that bit of downtime before a busy night tonight. Done that coaching session and, of course, the YouTube stuff I do as well. So really appreciated that, but also appreciate I've got to get back to it, and looking forward to a busy end to the week before another weekend of doing more activity and football and all the things I love there. So it's just about being positive and enthusiastic, trying to encourage that little bit of activity. So like I say, if you can give it a thumbs up, if you can get involved in any way, shape or form through any of those links by commenting, that would be absolutely amazing. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You might be wondering what's going on here. What's this guy all about? It's real, it's raw, it's just me chatting away, trying to process things, trying to understand why I do this, why I do that. I listen to a lot of other things to try and sort of create some personal development for myself and try and be that little bit better. But it also gives me confidence, and it gives me a chance to just get things off my chest. And once they're said, like I've just said there, I was pretty honest, I'm not feeling 100%. I said early in the week, I'm almost fighting it at the moment. It's a bit of an effort. I'm trying to feel the best I can. Whilst I say that, I don't particularly feel down, but I know what it's like to sort of be on a crest of a wave. So I appreciate the down times as well. It can't always be like that. That's something I always reiterate. But it's definitely a work in progress right now. I know I'll get through it. It's these little things. It's doing the things I enjoy. It's doing DOdaily that really help me. Just another comment there quickly. Ian says, great part 1 vlog again. Ian was on it, so he's got to say that. But no, appreciate the comments, Ian. Appreciate the views on that. They always get a good response, those part 1 vlogs. There's a playlist to them. I'll link them up to this video. So if you're watching after it's live, please do check that out. It'd be I'd really appreciate the support with those. We're just somewhere different, getting out and about on a Saturday morning, enjoying the running, but seeing different places, experiencing it in a slightly different way with slightly different people. So it's all good stuff, particularly, like I say, if you have a running persuasion. So that's basically where I'm at this week. I'm feeling okay. I know I can feel a little bit better, and I know over the next few days, if one or two things go the right way, I'll be feeling even better. And I'm sure I'll explain when they do. But in terms of Thursday, it's the usual format: the throwback question, followed by 3 questions that have been posted this week, and then a throwback to take into next week, and a chance again for you to post your comments and post your responses to that. Really would appreciate some support with these. It's not easy all the time. People feel a bit nervous about getting in touch or getting involved. That they tend to email me a lot, which is absolutely fine. I love that. I love being that sort of port of call, I guess, for people when they feel they need to reach out a little bit. But if you can get involved, if you're not that nervous or not that concerned, please do comment, and leave me questions. It just gives me something to go at. And like I said, there's no wrong question. I'd like to think there's no wrong answer, but I'm sure I get it wrong at times. But I'm just saying it the way I see it. If I do get it wrong, you're more than welcome to tell me. So getting into that throwback from last week, a couple of responses to that. We were talking about Halloween very briefly, and the question come up, what's your party trick? I'm not sure I've got one, to be honest. I've got a little thing I do in the pub with coins. If this is a party trick, I'm not sure. Where you rest them on your hand and catch them really quickly. Is that a party trick? But I can do lots. I can do lots of coins at once. Really flick my hand around. It's all a bit daft, all a bit silly. But you see what I mean. It's just a little thing when everybody's in the pub enjoying themselves, and it's just there you go. I wish I had some coins to show you, but I haven't. Dawn's already getting involved there. Look, my party trick, once I've had a drink, is to climb trees, tables, and buildings. There you go. That's it. I've seen it. It definitely happens. Ian's back in again as well. My party trick is juggling. There you go. Like I say, there's no wrong things to these. Dawn Tour says you've got no tricks. Probably, if he's saying that, I'd say my party trick is hosting his YouTube channel. But there you go. That's for the cheap Mr. Daw. But no, getting back to what we're saying. Dawn also did post earlier in the week saying not a trick as such, but I'm always the first on the karaoke. Don't we know it? Absolutely atrocious. I'm sure I'll get a comment for that. And Mr. Dawes laughing away there as well. Look, so sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Steve said, "My party trick is I can touch my nose with my tongue." I just thought about trying it, but that's going to make me look silly, isn't it? If I try and do it, and I can't. But no, just these little things, silly little things that keep us amused at times. Like I say, no wrong answers. Lisa says, I love doing impressions of other people. Well, I do actually, but Kay always tells me that I can't. They all sound exactly the same. So again, it's just silly things we do, isn't it? Silly things we talk about. And again, that's all I'm trying to be here is a little bit lighthearted. You know, nothing too serious. There's far too much serious stuff on the internet. We do get serious if that's where the conversation goes and I get asked the question. But just for these throwbacks, it's just a way of leaving your response and, like I say, getting involved in the channel, getting a shout out. So please keep them coming. The questions are really varied today. No real theme behind them. There's sometimes they're about running, sometimes they're about mental health. We've got various subjects to go at, so I'm going to crack straight on with those. Question 1, what do you think of Matt Hancock taking on the jungle? And that's from Sarah. I'm not sure. I'm really, really not sure. Of course, I'll start by saying myself and Kay absolutely love I'm a Celebrity. When we first got together, it's something that we watched initially when we're in the first few months, and we watched it together. So we make a point now of watching each series and enjoying it. Out of all this reality TV rubbish, it is the one I watch. So we're quite keen on it, and being a people watcher, watching people's relationships develop like I like to do in the real world. You know, these kind of programs are great for that, and seeing personalities evolve and come out when they get to know people, I really enjoy that side of it. So that's why I like the jungle. Some of the challenges and things like that I'm not sure about. I'm a bit squeamish with eating animals and things like that. But when it comes to people going in, especially Matt Hancock, I'm not a massive fan. I'm sure quite a lot of people aren't a massive fan of Matt Hancock, but the reality is, you know, he's another personality. Whether he's a TV personality or not, he is a personality. He's been sort of in the news over the last couple of years, and a lot of these people go into sort of rebuild their careers almost, don't they? So I'm sure Matt Hancock would like to show a side of him that not many of us know. We've all seen the bad things, you know, all the things through COVID and what was happening there. And I'm not sticking up for the guy because, like I say, I hope he doesn't win. I hope he doesn't turn out to be a nice person. But that's just my personal opinion. I just think it's a chance for him to show, isn't it? And these programs rely on a bit of controversy and someone a bit unconventional. So to make the show, you know, I don't see it as a bad thing. Of course, he's upset a few people within the government by doing it. But again, that just shows that he's perhaps got a point to prove and show what he's all about in the real world. And everybody should have that opportunity if they want to. He's been battered left, right and centre by every man and his dog over the COVID situation. And I do feel, again, I don't feel for him, but I do feel he was hung out to dry a little bit, but that would get too political. So we won't go down that road. So yeah, just what will be with it. You know, there's always people in there that we don't like, that we don't want to see, that upset the apple cart almost, but they're the ones that tend to sort of make it and sort of create the show, even if they're controversial. And I think this one might be. What I will say about it, no spoilers. Myself and Kay have only actually watched the first one so far. Being busy this week, we've not watched any more, so I'm sure we'll catch up over the weekend and see how that starts panning out. What we do actually like to do is watch it when it's not live, to fast forward all the adverts. There's far too many adverts in that thing, isn't there? And they all say the same thing. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how Matt Hancock does on I'm a Celebrity. Looking forward to seeing how it goes. Of course, you pick up one or two things, but it is a great show after all. It's something, this time of year when we start bedding in for the winter, it's proper autumn television, isn't it? So looking forward to that. Dawn says he's going to be doing every Bush Tucker trial. I imagine so. I absolutely imagine so, because it's payback time for some of the things he upsets us on. But yeah, that's my opinions. What are your thoughts? If you've got any comments on Matt Hancock per se, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear it. If you're watching sort of post-live episode, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to sort of get any feedback and try and put that out next week. But thanks for that question. Really good way to start. Looking forward to watching the series develop. Question 2. This is from Tim. How are you feeling about the Clowne Half Marathon? This is obviously obviously Tim's picked up on the fact that next weekend I've got the Clowne Half Marathon. A lot of the Do Running guys I run with here in Nottingham are doing it. In many ways, I'm really looking forward to it, and in many ways, I'm not. I'll come back to that shortly. But one of the reasons I love this half marathon is because when I started running, it's something I did initially with the friend I started running with. And it was just an event the two of us went to, and as we was getting into running, it's something I enjoyed. You get a hoodie, you get some nice cake at the end. It's famed for its cake and coffee, and you get a different coloured hoodie, the same every year. So I've done it now for about 3 or 4 years. I've got a bit of a collection of these things, so it's something that I'm really keen to do. But while starting with a friend for 1 or 2 years, it was the event I kind of went off to on my own, even with the running clubs sort of set up and sort of dedicated my life to that in many ways. It was the one where I actually went and did it on my own because I took that much enjoyment from it. I also see it as the last event of the year. It's not far off the first event of this year with the way things have gone. But when I've been in good form and sort of doing my regular events and getting the achievements I wanted to, it's almost been a sign off, and it almost feels like Christmas after Clowne, especially last year. It was snowing. But over the last few years, I've got the Do Running guys involved, and we do it as a big team event as well. Enjoy that, whilst I was doing it on my own for a reason now, it's important to do it with the guys. We go for a carvery lunch after, it becomes a bit of a, not a day of it, but almost a morning and an early afternoon. And we take the achievement and we have a picture with the same hoodies on, really, really enjoyable occasion. And like I say, almost a way to round the year off for events, and then almost get into the Christmas spirit as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to it for all those reasons. And I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to testing myself after my running recently, but probably not quite done enough half marathon training. And I wouldn't advocate that, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to sort of get a time on the board, whatever it'll be. It'll be nowhere near what I want it to be. It'll be a battle. It'll be a slog. I did about 8 miles last Sunday, and kind of fractured that was. It was broken down into a couple of sessions, and that was really tough. So I know it's going to be tough. Of course, that's something I'm not looking forward to. It's a tough event when you're in good form. It's a little bit hilly. It's cold. It's always very cold. I mentioned the snow there last year. We was coming home in blizzards, but it's always really cold. It almost goes a notch again from the initial shock of autumn and early winter kicking in. It gets really cold in the morning especially. So not looking forward to that. But really looking forward to it because it's a great team event. And again, it's that way of rounding the year off. In terms of the running club itself, it's an event. We'll have the Christmas do, and then we have a little mini break over Christmas before getting into what we do in the new year. So I'm looking forward to it for those reasons. I think we'll have about 13, 14 attending. So it always creates a nice atmosphere. People share cars and then sort of run together and do different things. So really, really looking forward to getting an event in. I was just saying again, whilst I was at the training session I've been to, that I've not actually done very many events. One in February and then the Thunder Run thing, which probably sort of blagged my way through a little bit. But a 10K in February is all I've done this year, and that's unheard of in terms of doing events. Normally looking at probably 10, 15 events a year, and this year it's just been really quiet on that front, and that's because of where I've been. But of course, that's why I'm so excited about all the activity, all the things I'm doing, and looking forward to getting another half marathon and that achievement in, because it's always an achievement, no matter what time you do it in, no matter how you feel when you've done it. It's always a massive achievement to have that sort of be safely in the knowledge that you've chalked off another one. I think I've probably, in the 5 or 6 years I've been running, probably done about 20, 25 half marathons, on top of the other things. So it's just ticking those over. And there was a time I thought I'd never do that. So whatever sort of shape or time I get around in next Sunday, a week on Sunday, it's going to be an achievement nonetheless. And that's the best way to look at it for me, because like I say, it is a bit daunting at this time. Comment from Dawn here. After Clowne, there will only be 34 days until Christmas. How far are you on with your Christmas shopping? I'm not answering that just yet. You'll understand why very shortly. But yeah, of course, it is the build up to Christmas, so it's interesting. It's a nice way to round off. Sorry, I just got distracted by Dawn's comment there, talking about Christmas already. But thanks for that question, Tim. I'm sure I'll be reporting back in about that. I won't be vlogging it. I'm finding the part one vlogs really hard. Running and vlogging is really difficult at the moment. Hopefully I can get to a stage where that all becomes a little bit more comfortable. But for the time being, I just want to get an event done, get my new hoodie. It's always a different colour. So get that on, get the team photos on. I'm sure I'll post back in on the Monday after that about how I got on. So do stay tuned. But thanks for the question. Question 3. Dawn mentioned there Christmas. When do you start getting prepared for Christmas, Leah? Well, to be honest, once Clowne's out of the way, it's that event I kind of organise and get the guys excited about and worked up for. And once that's out of the way, don't do too much planning, because I don't see there's any point. Not because I'm grumpy about it. I love Christmas. I love December. I love everything about it. But why plan for something in August if it's in December? I'm the type of person that turns up on time for things. As many people know around me, I'm not very often late when it's a big thing. But me and Kay are normally 5 minutes behind the clock. But in terms of things, I think the shopping in December, when everything's happening, is exciting. I know people who do Christmas shopping in February. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? That's just ridiculous, because then by the time it comes, you haven't got that excitement of going out, doing it, enjoying the Christmas coffees or the Christmas sausage rolls or whatever people do, a pint in the pub, all those little things. I don't do it too early. Normally I'm done in good time. But like I say, Clowne is almost the benchmark now for me, tuning into Christmas and being on the ball with it. That couple of weeks over there, I've done nothing yet. Absolutely nothing other than plan things for running the Christmas meal and 1 or 2 other things around what I'm going to be doing in terms of logistics. But no shopping. It's all part of December. It's all part of hearing the Christmas music, drinking the Christmas costas, all the little things that really add up. We're not really too materialistic over it all. We've planned Christmas Day. We've got both mine and Kay's family coming over for Christmas lunch, which is amazing. Over the last couple of years, my family have come, but it's particularly nice this year. Of course, we got married, so it'll be a nice way to round the year off. We'll have all our family. We'll have Stan the puppy about, probably begging for everybody's Christmas dinner. But it's going to be such a nice occasion to have everybody here, and that's absolutely amazing, isn't it? That's something a few years ago, could probably never have dreamed of. I'm not being silly about it. I know these things happen when you're patient, when you wait. But 5 years ago, when I kind of started everything I do today, I was single, I was on my own, it wasn't the same. And now we've got two families sort of coming together, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. And the fact that we can do it at home is really nice. It gives our parents a day off from cooking, doing it their way, but we don't often have that time at home. I mentioned today it was important for me to do that, just have a break. But we don't often get too much time for all the organising and planning we do. So really looking forward to it. But not started anything just yet. When Clowne's out the way next week, when I've half killed myself going around there, I'll be on it from there, thinking what I need to do and getting sorted. And I think it's important to celebrate it when it's actually happening, Dawn. Not too soon, because that just makes it boring in the end. Celebrate it when it's happening, and you get even more from it. Christmas songs in November. I don't know what you're talking about. Here's a comment. Someone I agree with. All this talk of Christmas is out of order, mate. Too early yet. Totally agree with you, Paul. But I knew Dawn would be on it as well, and somebody else asked me the question there. So really appreciate all your questions today. Lots for me to look forward to. I did mention I'm getting there, not feeling 100%, but all the little things I do are picking me up, making me feel that little bit better about my activity, my goals for the new year, my big targets. I've got one or two projects I'm working on, whilst I can get out running and just see those small signs of improvement, and just the fact I'm being consistent with it at the moment. I bang on to the guys at the coaching sessions about being consistent, and my problem this year has been being consistent. But I'm finding that again. I'm finding a reason to do it, a reason to get out there, and a reason to enjoy it, and that's what's really important, isn't it? Dawn says here, rubbish, 1st of September I'll start playing Christmas songs. Bonkers. Anyway, we'll move on from Christmas for now. It's still 2 months away, isn't it? No, it's just over a month. That's scary. But we'll move on. Throwback question. We always finish with one of these. Who's going to win I'm a Celebrity? It's simple. I know lots of people watch it. Drop your comments on who you think is going to win. I'd love to sort of feed those back. It'd be interesting to see who predicts the winner. It's really, really hard in the first week, isn't it? Because things change when people start getting kicked out and things like that. The dynamics change. But I'd be really interested on who you think might win. Like I say, I love it. I don't care if it's Car Crash TV. I love watching it. I love watching it sort of develop. So it'd be interesting to see what you think. Dawn's already there on it, just like she is with Christmas. Owen to win, getting in early. So whoever you think, I'd be interested to know. Perhaps read a few of those out next week and see where we are with it. So a chance to get involved, a chance just to sort of support the channel, support what I'm trying to do here. I know it's rough around the edges. I know it could be a little bit more articulate on my part, but there you go. I'm just processing the things that are whirling around in my head, and hopefully somebody can take something from it. And that's all it's about. I'd encourage you, as ever, to get your questions in, des@dorunning.org.uk, or anything you want to talk about. If you want to talk about mental health, it's particularly that email is particularly useful for that, where people get in touch and tell me their situations. And whilst I'd love not to have to do it, of course, I'd love people to feel great all the time. It's not the way, is it? There's always somebody not feeling fantastic. I've touched on the fact that I'm not perfect, and I'll tell you when I'm not feeling good. I'll tell you when it's absolutely amazing as well. But I understand it's a bit of a bumpy ride at times. So if you've got anything you want to talk to me about, any advice, anything you want me to say, I'm not trained, I'm no expert, but I do live a real life. I do watch things, I do understand things. It's all sort of self-taught, the things I have picked up, but I am a good listener as well. So if you've got anything you want to sort of talk about, please get in touch that way. If you want to keep it private, if you've got any questions, any quirky stuff, any important stuff you want me to answer, I can always put anonymous by it, and we can get stuck into it. I love it when I can get stuck into some of the serious stuff. Today, it's all been a bit light-hearted, talking about Christmas, I'm a Celebrity, and Matt Hancock. When I started this, I never thought they'd be the subjects at the top of the list. But that's the way it is. It is what it is, and that's what's on people's minds. So that's what I've answered. So if you want to get in touch, of course, the email again, all those links scrolling across the bottom. And the links will be at the end of the video as well. Or just comment on any of the videos throughout the week, and I'll definitely respond. Try and respond to everything. It's important. If I'm encouraging people to get in touch with me, it's important for me to communicate back. So I try to reply to all comments, questions. Of course, that gets busy at times, but I'll definitely get round to it, especially if it's of a serious nature. So I think it's important to open up those communication lines, just for people that might need it. I know at times I've needed it and not had it, and of course, the reason I do this channel in the first place is because a friend who lost his battle with mental health, is one of the reasons. There was many reasons that come after, but my inspiration to almost be an advocate for mental health is because of a friend who lost his battle, and I never want that to happen again. So if I can help in any way, shape or form, please do get in touch. Other than that, I'll be back in the morning, wake up to walk. I'm actually getting up for a run really early in the morning. I've made myself accountable by setting one of the guys at the coaching session a challenge of running early with me twice a week. So it's really a challenge for myself as well. But it's that accountability. Made him accountable, made me accountable. So we're getting up early, going out for a run, probably a 5K around the river. Hopefully my legs aren't hurting too much from the tough hill session tonight. But what a way to attack the day. Then I'll be looking to slow the pace down a little bit before cracking on with my day. Of course, I'll be explaining why I've been talking about the things I've been talking about this week. Looking forward to the weekend, explaining why it's good to get up early and get somewhere and get out for some fresh air, and how much it works in attacking the weekend. Going into the weekend in a positive mindset and looking forward to the things we do. And in reality, that's all we need, isn't it? If we've had a busy week, if we've had a positive week, we can build on it and be really excited about the things we do. We can infuse that. We are allowed to do that. Some people get a bit nervous when you start getting enthusiastic, or if you've had not so good one, it's just a chance to turn it on its head and enjoy what we can, isn't it? So really looking forward to wake up to walk. Probably not quite looking forward to getting up so early, although Ian is looking forward to it. I'll ask you that at 6:10 in the morning. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the support as ever. Don't forget to drop me a like. 2 seconds it takes you. Really, really appreciate that. Do check out that part 1 vlog from yesterday. Check out the playlist for it as well. They're brilliant. Kay's been saying to me over the last few weeks, DOdaily's got really back into the way it should be. I've got a bit of routine back with it. Things have settled down a bit after the wedding, after 1 or 2 hiccups along the way. Things have really settled down, and she said to me, they're like proper DOdailies, and that's all I want to do. Just be honest, realistic, hopefully relatable, and hopefully sort of tap into what people are thinking about as well. If it works, fantastic. If it don't, I'll be back tomorrow regardless. So until then, just doing it.